Yep, there's nothing that makes me smile than this. Hey everybody, welcome to my review of Raven's Home, and before I get sentimental and nostalgic about That's So Raven, which we all know is absolutely one of the best Disney Channel series ever, let's just go straight about this series. Now, this series began airing over a decade after the original series ended. It is a spin-off of That's So Raven, and of course, Raven Baxter and her best friend Chelsea Daniels return as two divorced mothers taking care of their kids pretty much Full House style. Except Danny, Jesse, and Joey are replaced with women, and their kids are not girls. Or like Fuller House. Yeah, kind of like Fuller House, better. Now, when I heard this was going to be announced, despite my better judgment about Raven-Symoné herself and her controversial statements or opinions she's made on The View or on other shows, I will never forget that two continents crap she made. But honestly, despite this, as a fan of That's So Raven and someone who tries to avoid Disney Channel for as much as possible because their new shows are mostly crap, I was pretty excited about this. Not only because of the fact that I was excited to see Raven Baxter and Chelsea Daniels on television again, along with the other characters we knew and loved from That's So Raven. Hell, even Devon's going to be back because he's her ex-husband, Raven's ex-husband. I honestly didn't think this show would ever get off the ground because of the fact that as a grown adult and a lesbian, Raven-Symoné would ever return to Disney Channel with a series of her own. And I'm sure Annalisa Vanderpool would have her own things to do, like, I think she was on Broadway for a while. I don't know. But anyway, I was really excited to see this because, and of course, since this is a spin-off sequel of That's So Raven, this does involve children, and of course they will be the focus of Disney Channel's attention for, well, depending on how popular this will be, since this show is relatively new in its second episode as of this recording, will be airing on Friday. But from my first look at watching this, I was honestly really enjoying it because it features the same old Raven Baxter and Chelsea Daniels we knew and love. Although, when Chelsea was an idiot, it really annoyed the crap out of me. And pretty much everything we knew and love about That's So Raven, or at least parts of it, since this show isn't in San Francisco like the original series, but is instead in Chicago, like, pretty much nearly half of every Disney Channel show since, what? I don't know, since it ended? Seriously, there are a lot of Disney Channel shows in Chicago that I could put up with one hand. But that's another thing I've never mentioned again. But this series does continue that flavor and flair that That's So Raven was known and remembered for. Of course, Raven is still a psychic. No, psychic, not sidekick, because Chelsea's a sidekick. But she still has her psychic visions, and since she does have kids, one of her kids also has her psychic abilities. That being her son Booker. I'll get to that in a minute, but let's talk about the kids. Raven has twins, and if you watch Disney Channel, you know that at least half of its shows have twins in them. Ahem, ahem. Well, basically half of every Disney Channel show you know. But these are these twins here. Their names are Nia and Booker. Guess which twin has the name? I'm sorry, I'm not going there. But anyway, the boy twin of Raven, Booker, carries on Raven's psychic abilities that run in the Baxter family. And just like in the original, well, actually not in the original series, because we never saw the origins of how and when Raven got her psychic powers and what her reactions were. But, let's see, but in this series, we see Booker do have these psychic powers. And I actually like that we get to see what Booker sees with these psychic powers, since he is a kid and kids do develop such things when they're young. But I'm very curious to see how this all pans out, to see how he begins to act like his mother, just like she was on Not So Raven. And now to Nia, she's like, well, pretty much every other female protagonist in every other Disney show. But she's sweet, she's kind, she's smart, she has her book smarts, she has her street smarts. And, you know, there's going to be some sibling rivalry going around. Picture a Black Dipper and Mabel Pines here. I'm definitely led to assume that Booker is just Eddie 2.0, just younger Eddie. In fact, it led me to think this little wild possibility that Booker may be the son of Raven and Eddie, which could explain why Raven may be divorced from Devon. And yes, Devon is her husband, carrying on that wonderful love torch that these two had for each other throughout That's So Raven. But because of the fact that he acts and talks like Eddie, made me think that Raven cheated on Devon with Eddie, and therefore having a child out of that affair. But then again, that'd be too much for a Disney Channel show, and I'm definitely sure they're not going to go away with that. And maybe just Eddie's just Booker's, you know, uncle, and that, well, Booker looks up to him, so that would explain a lot. So, let's go to the other main characters, the younger main characters. Chelsea has a son named Levi, and Levi is pretty much like the smart, studious, dorky characters on Disney Channel shows. And fortunately, because of the fact we all watch Disney Channel shows and remember the tropes from those, we can pretty much say something like this, like the generic type, and never have to explain further what these characters are that pretty much stand apart from most Disney Channel shows, because we all know these tropic characters never really stand out much from each other outside of their names and faces and looks and stuff. He could pretty much be a red-headed Cody Martin from the Sweet Life series. But he does have some quirks with him that I do like and find funny. Because if you notice, he's completely different, or at least parts different, from Chelsea, who in this series still has that dorky, ditzy, goofy characteristics that she was known for in the original series after season 1. But he's not annoying at all. I'm hoping so, because I don't want to be annoyed by this kid. I do find some jokes funny, but then again, if you watch the scene where Booker gets his first psychic vision, and then seeing it actually happen, it does carry on some Disney Channel jokes that really do annoy me these days. Not gonna spoil it for you because you have to watch the first episode for yourself. Now to the other character, the young character. Her name is what's her name? Ah, shoot. Well, anyway, her character is pretty much another Disney Channel character archetype. She's a street smart character who dresses like a member of some biker gang or whatever. There's always the jokes, like she makes fun of some characters. She acts tough. but I have a feeling in later episodes she'll probably come from a troubled home, or they make jokes about her in a troubled home, and that but inside she's broken and wants to change from or get away from her biker attitude type behavior she's at first known for. And that's okay. Her name is Tess. Okay, her name is Tess. She lives next door to the Baxter Daniels shared clan, and that's why she's a main character. Now, now that I've gotten your attention out of the way from the characters a bit, let's talk about some things that I've noticed from this series. This series, as it claims, is filmed in front of a live studio audience. But I've never seen proof of anything that sounds like it, because when I watched the show, at least the first episode, it really didn't sound like it. At first I thought it sounded either like they edited up the studio audience to make it sound less like it, because it sounds very loud, very edited, and very processed. Or they're just using a laugh track. Although, fortunately, from watching all of the first episode, I didn't get to hear the usual suspects of a used-to-death laugh track. So, okay, there's the picture. There's the picture you've been waiting for. But anyway, I just hope it continues, that they actually do use a live audience and make it sound like they do have a live audience. Because I really want it to happen. I want a Disney Channel show that doesn't have a laugh track and doesn't sound like they're not even trying to use a laugh track. But hopefully it all starts here with Raven's Home and continues for future Disney Channel series. Although I won't be watching any of them after this. Let's see, yeah, pretty much. Okay, so this series does have the usual kid-horrific tropes, like a sibling rivalry, something of a blended family, Chelsea being the goofy parent while Levi being the doting son, or whatever. We'll get to see Devon again, so that's good. Although I'll be curious to see how they'll explore Raven and Devon's marriage before they divorce, and how they will explain and explore the divorce, because it's rare that Disney Channel has original series with divorced parents. I mean, we do have a couple of series in which there are blended families, like Dog with a Blog and The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. I think Carrie and her husband Kurt. No, I think they were divorced. Yeah, maybe. It's rare. I never said that it never happened, but I said it was rare. But and they have done plots in other shows where there were a divorced couple. But I can't wait to see how they'll do this, because I've always been a fan of Raven and Devon as a couple. So I'm glad that they did get married and have children. And I'm very sad that they got divorced, but understand me, 50% of marriages do end in divorce, so I can understand where they're going with this. I know this is going to become a hit. I mean, it did get real good ratings. 3.5 million viewers for the end for the premiere, even if it was tied to the premiere of the highly anticipated Disney Channel original movie Descendants 2. But I hope it does last for a while. I mean, That's So Raven became the network's first ever live-action original series to be produced in a multi-camera format, and it lasts for 100 episodes under 4 seasons. Excuse me, I almost went British there. And I hope it does last as much as long as this. Maybe 3 seasons, because it's some Disney Channel shows ended in 3 seasons, but I think it'll end either or. But I hope it'll last this long, because I want to see these kids grow up before our eyes. It happens with almost every single Disney Channel show. But with these young kids, I want to see them grow up to become young teenagers and experience life in high school. And see what Booker will do in situations like his mom did. And I want these kids to learn life lessons like their mom did and their moms and aunts did. Well, moms/aunts did. Hopefully this will happen. And I'm sure it will happen. And I want to see what Tess will be like in later episodes and seasons. Because she seems like the stereotype of most bad influence kids on Disney Channel shows. But I want to see how her character develops from there on. Oh, and one thing I almost forgot to mention. I hope many memorable characters from That's So Raven. Corey, Victor and Tanya, because Tanya didn't make it to the third season, sadly. And other characters, Eddie, of course, Eddie too. I hope that Disney Channel will try to wade through the wires, because as we adults well know, his portrayer Orlando Brown has gone through some crazy stuff lately. I hope he wisens up enough and acts like a good gentleman, at least enough to appear on this show. And hopefully none of the kids watching will ever know about the things he gets into. That he's gotten into. So that he'll enjoy his character, Eddie Thomas. And that we can enjoy Eddie Thomas too. Really separate the good from the bad to enjoy his character again. Because he was definitely one of my favorite parts of this show. He was the cool best friend. He was the enjoyable best friend. And he was goofy at times, but that's what made his character so memorable. And the trio that we all knew and loved from That's So Raven will reunite again for this series. Let's make this happen, Disney Channel. Let's make it happen. Hold on. But other than that, I really liked and enjoyed this series so far, and I'll probably have to do a follow-up review at the end of season 1 to see where everything goes from there and see if I liked it more or liked it less, or if I'm on the same page throughout. But let's hope this series does very well enough to continue on as much as it did, like the original series. Maybe tackle some tough issues and help children learn about them. See where their moms are going through with their divorces. Oh, I almost forgot. Chelsea's divorce. I want to see where Chelsea's divorce was explored here too. And hopefully, see where things go from here. Because I really do like this show as much as I was a fan of the original show. Looking up to the characters and their actors and pretty much popping up on the couch with the family and watching this series like every episode or almost every episode throughout its original run. Oh, and let's see. Let me see. Because I played the original theme song. I played the theme song at the beginning of this review, but I don't think I had the sound on. Okay, it's on. Now, speaking of the theme song, I absolutely love it. And I think you would too. So, without further ado, here's the theme song.
Yeah, let me tell you something. How my vision all worked out, but then life had other plans. It's crazy when things turn upside down, but you gotta get up and take that chance. Maybe I'm just finding my way. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. It might be wild, but you know that we make it work. We're just kids. Gotta get up and take that chance. Maybe I'm just finding my way. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. It might be wild, but you know that we make it work. We're just kids caught up in a crazy world. It's raining stuff. It's raining stuff. It's all crap. Might be tough, but together we make it look good. Down for each other like family should. It's raining stuff. It's raining stuff. 'Cause no matter the weather, you know we gon' shine. There for each other, you know it's our time.
Oh man, this theme song is fantastic. It's definitely have the fun, the flair, and enjoyment that the original series theme had. I mean, it took me a little bit to get used to it because it didn't sound almost exactly like the original series. Definitely, the original series had that R&B pop and touches of hip hop feel to it. This has more pop than R&B, but the R&B part is in there. Then it does have the fun and enjoyment and catchiness just like the original series did. And of course, Raven Simone and a couple of her cast members do sing in this one just like they did in the original. Except Orlando Brown and Annalisa Vanderpool are replaced by Isaac Ryan Brown, who plays Booker, and Navia Robinson, who plays Nia. They do sound real good for their lines. And it did make me feel happy every time I listen to it. I mean, every time I listen to it, it makes me smile, makes me want to dance, makes me sing along. That's what worked for the original series, and that's what worked for this series theme too. And I honestly think that this is going to be a big hit for Disney Channel. I mean, it already has the built-in nostalgia factor for original viewers of the original series. And I'm sure kids watching with their parents who watch the original series will love this too. I'm sure they will. Well, that's it for my review of Raven's Home. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys will enjoy the original series. This series as much as the original. Yeah, I always get tongue-tied. And thank you all for checking in. Make sure to like this video if you do like it. If you want to see more like this, please let me know on social media, Facebook and Twitter, at Maroon Mondays if you do, so I can make more reviews like this. Hopefully I would like to do more reviews like this, because this seemed pretty fun to do. It was not pretty simple despite my lacking off in the production department. I'll definitely will have to fix that. This is pretty much a prototype here, but I hope you do enjoy it. And congrats to Disney Channel and the creators of That's So Raven, Michael Poirier, my apologies, and Susan Sherman for coming back to create this new series, along with developers Jed Elinoff and Scott Thomas for putting it together, and all the producers who come back for That's So Raven, or new ones that'll come together for this. You guys are going to definitely put together a wonderful show. I'm definitely sure of it. If you like what you saw here, or any opinions you have for this that I'd like to change for future videos, please let me know in the comments section. If there's anything else you want me to do to review, please also let me know in the comments section or on social media. Again, Facebook and Twitter at Maroon Mondays. And please subscribe if you want to see more like this. And don't forget to click the bell to be notified for future videos. Thank you for watching. I'm Andrew, and I'll see you around.